So I think when you look at the Bulls, big steps in the right direction, you just worry about how much of a ceiling is on what this team can achieve because of the age and the defensive struggles of some of your key players as well.
Well, I think you just led me to my next question, Geltzy, and that's just your thoughts on the overall construction of this team now that we're seeing it pan out in the way we are and how it plays out on the court. When you say this isn't sustainable, you're not just talking about the asks of the three defensive role players. You're talking about the major makeup of the team.
I am, Leah. I am, and I think so. Let's get to that. Right now, we know that one of the great surprises in the NBA, a guy that has been certainly one of the top 10 players in the NBA, and you could make a case he's been one of the top 5 players in the league, Demar Derozan, has been absolutely fantastic. With that said, he's not a wonderful defensive player. But with the way he's played and what he's done for you offensively, this is not a guy you want to move on from at all. Zach Levine, early in his career, was by many measures the worst defensive player in the NBA. He has come a long way, and he certainly played a better defensive role in the Olympics, and embraces that end of the floor much more than he ever has. He's still not great there. He's fine, he's okay, but he's not great there. The guy that I really think they have to turn the page on is Nikola Vucevic, and I think he's probably performed a little less than what they thought they were going to get out of him. Listen, they traded for Vucevic before they ever brought DeRozan in. And I think that's really important to note here, because that spot with DeRozan and Levine on the floor needs to be a defensive-oriented 5, a guy that's going to block shots and change shots. Listen, Vucevic is a very good rebounder. He's a good offensive player. I don't know if he's a great offensive player. He's a good offensive player. He's a sieve defensively, and he doesn't protect the rim well. You need a legit rim protector, a guy that patrols the paint to be able to make up for the mistakes of some of your perimeter guys. And when you have that, it's going to make guys like Lonzo Ball and Patrick Williams even better on the perimeter. So to me, you can upgrade that spot. And I don't think you need offense from that spot, by the way. I think that you have enough offense on the floor, especially with a healthy Lonzo Ball there. And don't get me wrong, Ayo Dosunmu has been fantastic in Lonzo's stead. He's giving you everything you could ever want. And he's not bad defensively. But I think that the move, ultimately the personnel move, is going to be to move on from Vucevic for a player that may not be the caliber of him offensively, but you need to find somebody that really protects that rim and protects that paint and not only blocks shots but changes shots. The Bulls desperately need that, and I think Vuce has been exposed here in the second half of the season.
Oh, but Geltzy, that's so expensive. You're talking about 2 first-round picks in that transaction.
Yes, I am, Leah, and think about it this way. I mean, when the Bulls traded for Vuce, there was a little desperation attached, right? You wanted to put your stamp on the program. Zach Levine's going to be a free agent coming up in this offseason. I don't think there's anybody there that doesn't believe the Bulls are going to throw every dime they can at Zach Levine to keep him. And frankly, they'd be insane not to. So I think that's happening. But when you did that, you wanted to make the place attractive for other players to come to, right? And what did you do? You got Lonzo Ball to want to come there. You got DeMar DeRozan to want to come there. So in so many ways, that worked. Now, granted, you sent a first out for DeRozan, but that worked. You got guys to want to be there. Vooch put credibility on the thing when it didn't have a lot of credibility. But now you've advanced. Now you're at a different stage. And now you don't need that credibility. You have it already. Now you need something basketball-wise that has to complement these other better younger players more. And yes, you already had 2 firsts go out the door with that, but keep in mind, one's in the past already. You only have one more future first with this. And if you can do something with getting the right kind of 5 inside, listen, I will tell you right now, the team they played last night, I'd be knocking on their door with all the problems between Gobert and Mitchell. If they're an early exit in the playoffs, I got a feeling that you're going to have Danny Ainge listening over there. And I would certainly, if you could put Rudy Gobert on this Bulls team in place of Vucevic, you got a team that could compete to come out of the East. I really believe that. So that's something that if he ends up being available, and I think either him or Donovan Mitchell will be available coming up this offseason, that's an interesting guy to make a move on and to try to go after for Chicago.